Hello. The good news is the unemployment rate in Pennsylvania is low. The bad news is employers can't find enough workers. We'll tell you about an approach some believe may ease the shortage. Plus, jazz lovers, get ready. The Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival kicks off in a few days. We'll tell you what's new. And a local program is helping youth in foster care transition into their own place. So pull up a chair and meet us at the corner. Intersection starts right now. Hello, I'm Lisa Smith, the Director of Community Impact at KDKA Plus and the host of Intersections. According to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, America has a labor shortage. There aren't enough workers for job vacancies. Employers are noticing, and so are some local organizations that say one possible way to close that gap is by hiring immigrants. Joining me now are Allegra Elson. She is the Director of Training and Development with Vibrant Pittsburgh, along with Michelle King, Policy Coordinator with the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs with the City of Pittsburgh. Welcome, ladies, to Intersections.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So what kind of job challenges are some local employers facing, Allegra, when it comes to trying to find people to fill a lot of these openings?
So thank you, Lisa. So we know that right now in Allegheny County, there are 1.9 job vacancies for every unemployed worker. So it's almost a 2-to-1 ratio. And we're seeing it in most industries and sectors where there is need for workers, and for workers of all types of skills. So anything from light manufacturing to advanced manufacturing, utilities industries. We know the utilities are going to be seeing more retirements coming up, and so all industries and sectors are looking for employees.
Yeah. So how did Vibrant Pittsburgh and the City of Pittsburgh kind of come together to try to tackle this issue?
Well, so Vibrant Pittsburgh is a economic development nonprofit, and we are a membership organization, and we work with a wide variety of members across the region. And we have partnered with the City of Pittsburgh for many, many years. Mayor Janis is on our board of directors, and the City of Pittsburgh is a member. From my background, I worked for many years in the immigrant and refugee space, and then moved into my position at Vibrant Pittsburgh to have these conversations with employers. And I'm on the workforce implementation team as part of the Welcoming Communities group. And so we began to really talk about what can we do to move this forward and to make sure that employers know that there are really good, skilled employees out there, and we want to work together to get that message out to the employers.
So Michelle, what do you guys hear from immigrants and refugees who are settling here in the Pittsburgh area in terms of finding jobs? Are they having difficulties?
Yes, they are. So we are not, as the city, we are an employer of many, but we are not the one placing people in jobs. But with our workforce hub, and also with our Welcoming Communities group, we're working with stakeholders who are trying to find jobs for immigrants. So they are seeing that struggle. For
so you have a number of programs, and now there's this initiative that you guys are coming together. Tell us a little bit about what it is, Unlocking Global Talent. What exactly is that, and how does that kind of play out?
Yeah, so we, our implementation team came together and decided we wanted to find ways to bridge that gap between employers that are saying that they need workers and our immigrants and refugees who are saying that they are looking for jobs. And so we thought a great way would be to demystify the idea of hiring global talent, helping employers understand what it means, how to fill out paperwork, breaking down barriers that they see and helping just to answer questions, bringing them together in that forum.
Yeah, so Allegra, who are you targeting to participate in this event?
So we are targeting employers, business owners, hiring managers, also DEI professionals in the field, but anyone who is looking to hire and is looking to understand more about the process of hiring immigrants and refugees.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about there's a growing conversation around hiring immigrants, and how do you address that conversation when it comes up, like in a lens that is more positive in terms of, what an immigrant can bring to your workforce?
Absolutely. So we know that immigrants fill labor shortages. They work in industries, anything from hospitality to agriculture. So they fill labor shortages. Immigrants also start businesses. There are studies out there that show that more immigrants will start small businesses than folks who are born in the United States. And so that creates jobs, and that helps grow the economy also. We also know that the economy is not a zero-sum game. We understand that when immigrants settle here and are working here, they buy goods and services, they pay taxes, and that helps the local economy become more robust and grow. And there are also studies that show that in no way does hiring immigrants suppress the wages of folks who are born in the United States. So there are lots of wins, and it's also a win for our region and for our city and for our county to have immigrants and refugees come and resettle and become part of the fabric of our community.
Yeah, and you brought up the legal aspect. And Michelle, how do you kind of get past that? Because I'm sure some employers might have some questions about, are there some legal issues or things that I need to know legally around hiring someone who is an immigrant?
Absolutely. And so we know there's a greater debate out there about immigration policy, but that's not what this program is focused on. It's focused on helping those who are authorized to work fill those jobs. So one of the ways we're addressing that is as part of the webinar we're having, we have an immigration attorney, Ellen Freeman, who is going to be joining us to help answer some of those questions, alleviate those fears, and direct them to resources.
Yeah, and you guys were also talking about, just making sure people understand the definitions of, immigrant and a refugee. So how do you go through that part of the process?
So we're going to go through it in a two-step process. We'll be folks who are panelists at this webinar. We'll really talk what does it mean to be an immigrant, how do people come to this country in terms of immigration. Then talking about refugee resettlement, and we've seen a lot of refugee resettlement in the region. And keeping in mind, again, as Michelle said, we are focused on people who are legally authorized to work in the United States. Refugees, by definition, are authorized to work in the United States. And then there is also asylees, and those are people from other countries who have been given, shall we say, temporary asylum, and now we're seeing that they also have work authorization. So we're going to focus on those three categories: immigrant, refugee, asylee, just to keep it very clear. And as Michelle and I have discussed, there's hesitation sometimes around filling out government paperwork. It's something that we maybe fill out very seamlessly and easily when we're in front of somebody who's born in this country, but then there becomes a worry, am I doing this correctly? And so that's what we want to assure people and also go through, that yes, you're doing this correctly.
Yeah, and we're showing the information on the screen right now. So it's called Unlocking Global Talent. Tell us when it is and how people can register.
Sure. It is on next Tuesday, September 17th. It is from 9 to 10 a.m. It is a virtual on Zoom. And we have a registration link that I hope KDKA will put up maybe on the Intersections website. You can also contact Michelle or me. I am with Vibrant Pittsburgh. Michelle is with the City of Pittsburgh. We have that registration link. Once you register, we'd be happy to welcome you on next Tuesday.
All right. Well, ladies, thank you so much for sharing all this information. It's very valuable. We appreciate you coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, coming up, attention jazz lovers, the Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival is right around the corner. Intersections, we'll be right back. Well, music will fill the air and the streets of downtown Pittsburgh this year as the Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival returns for its 14th year. There will be food, fun, and lots of jazz. Here with all the details is Janis Wilson. She is the president and CEO of the August Wilson African American Cultural Center, the presenter of the Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival. Welcome back to Intersections.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so this year, your theme is homecoming.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
For the last 3 years, we've been at Highmark Stadium. After the pandemic, we moved there from the street so that we could provide safety and a scanning of, metal detectors, et cetera. This year, we decided to take it back to the streets, take it back to the August Wilson African American Cultural Center. So the theme is homecoming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have those street performances, some of those are going to be free. Is that right?
Yeah, the street performances are all free, as they have been for the first 10 years of the festival. We were on Penn Avenue and then moved to Liberty Avenue. So it's really kind of going back to our roots, and we closed down the streets, and right in front of the August Wilson Center, we'll have stages up, and the music starts at 1 o'clock, goes to about 10 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday, and it's free. You can show up with your chair, bring your friends, family. It's a good time.
And there's some food out there, and
There are food trucks.
Yeah.
There'll be a number of food trucks, so you can eat from all of them if you like. Eat all day long.
eat and listen to jazz.
Yeah.
So the jazz train is coming back. You guys started that last year. You're
Yeah.
bringing it back. Tell us about that.
That's a lot of fun. That was a partnership that we struck with Amtrak, and Orrin Evans, who's a jazz pianist based in Philadelphia, was talking about the fact that we should find a way to make it easier for people to just get to Pittsburgh without having to drive or fly. And Amtrak was open to it. So last year, we had musicians get on at the New York station, Newark, and Philadelphia stations, along with the people that were riding on the jazz train. We have a dedicated car, so it's like a jazz club on the rails. And there's a jam session from New York all the way to Pittsburgh. It's about a seven and a half hour trip, maybe 8 hours, and it's an 8-hour party. It's
Yeah.
a good time. So we're doing it again.
Yeah, and then they get off the train, they go straight into the shows.
Right,
Yes.
right. So the hotels that people usually stay at for the festival are within walking distance of the train station. So they can get off the train, go to their rooms. If they want to sleep, they can, but there are also options if you want to get out and hear some music. There's music at the August Wilson Center, at City Winery, called Alma Jazz Club. Those are partners that we're working with on programming in the city.
So let's kind of walk through the days. So Friday is Mesa
Yes.
performing. Tell us about Mesa.
So Mesa is an R&B, smooth jazz vocalist. She's best known as the voice of a group called Incognito that's based in the UK, and some classic songs that everybody knows. So she will be performing on Friday night at the August Wilson Center in our theater. We'll also be presenting her with the 2024, one of the 2024 Luminary Awards. After the concert, the Taste of Jazz party is in progress. So as you exit the theater, the party is going. There'll be 3-4 different bands. There's a DJ and 20 restaurants on site will have the best of their menu available for sampling, and that all is you can get all of that with the price of your ticket. If you have tickets to Mesa, you are already admitted to the party. And if you didn't get tickets to Mesa, because I think it's sold out now, you can buy tickets for the Taste of Jazz party.
Okay, and then Saturday, music in the streets again, but then you have Chris Coles performing Saturday night.
Right, so on Saturday at 1 o'clock, the music starts. So get there with your chair so you can get a good seat. Saturday night, we have another theater performance with a jazz musician named Chris Coles. His special guest is Sean Jones. And Chris has created this multimedia musical presentation with choreography, animation. It's inspired by the mass killing of people at the Emmanuel Church in South Carolina in 2015. So that is happening. That's a ticketed event also, and that's in the theater. It starts at 10 o'clock. So after all of the shows during the day, you can go in for this really special presentation. In addition to that, there's a jam session that's happening at the center. That's free, and that's where all the musicians get together and play and interact with the audience, and also see their friends, their musician friends.
And then last day is Sunday.
Last day is Sunday, and that's also a day where we have the outdoor stages. Music starts at 1, great music all day, and then we wrap it up Sunday night. On Monday, people get back on the train and head back east.
So this all happens in what is going to be the 15th anniversary of the August Wilson African American Cultural Center.
The anniversary of the opening of the building.
Yes. So, you know, how significant is that in the context of this festival?
Well, the building is an iconic building. There's no building that looks like it. Our architect was, she's still with us. Her name is Allison Williams, African American woman architect. So right there, that's significant. The fact that it's the August Wilson African American Cultural Center exists in Pittsburgh was a monumental feat. There was a group of people that came together that felt strongly about having this place for all people, but specifically for people of color, Black people, to have an opportunity to celebrate Black culture and art, for people to learn about Black art and culture. So I feel very privileged to be there and to be able to celebrate the 15th anniversary of the opening of this structure is very exciting. Actually, next Tuesday, we're having a special presentation at the center where we will rededicate the building with a proclamation and honor the founders of the August Wilson African American Cultural Center.
Yeah. Well, Janis, thank you so much. You have so much going on.
Yes, we
and
do.
so everyone is going to be filling the streets and listening to some jazz coming up here soon. So thanks again. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All righty. Well, coming up, a local program that works to keep young people from experiencing homelessness. Intersections. We'll be right back. Well, for close to 70 years, Action Housing has been working to help provide stable housing in Pittsburgh for those in need through various programs. One of those programs is specifically geared towards young people who have aged out of foster care. It's called My Place Youth Programs, and here to share more on what they do is Brandon Davis. He is the My Place program coordinator, along with Xavier Littlejohn, one of the program participants, and now a student at Pitt. Welcome, gentlemen, to Intersections.
Thank you.
So, Brandon, tell us a little bit about My Place, kind of how it came about, what you guys do, how you're helping young people who are transitioning out of foster care.
Well, actually, My Place is a solution, and it came of the question of what happens with foster care after they leave foster care, after they become 18 and they go out on the street. And what we found is within the first 6 months they experience homelessness, they become justice involved, meaning they commit a crime or some sort, or they have an unfortunate happening and they actually expire. So we have some foster youth who are no longer with us. So what Action Housing has done is created the My Place program, housing 18 to 24-year-olds and investing life skills into them so that they can achieve some sort of prosperity and self-sufficiency.
Yeah. So do you connect with them immediately as they're coming out of foster care? And how does that, you have to work with CYS, I'm guessing, to do that?
Yes, so we work with many organizations. CYF is one of them. Allegheny Links, we get referrals and they'll have an interview process, and as soon as the application is approved, they move in. So you can have your interview and move in the same day. We have many apartments, which we call scattered sites, but mainly we have 2 loft buildings which are fully furnished, and we have case management in this building itself. So again, if you come in, your application is approved, you can move directly into your apartment that day.
Wow. What are the qualifications? Are there certain qualifications for being able to transition into the program?
So yes, there are some qualifications. Being street homeless and addressing that immediate need is one of the qualifications. Being in the age range of 18 to 24, because that is the critical period of which those individuals experience those happenings. So pretty much, and then we have over 7 programs which address many different demographics. We have a college program. We have we are forming and getting our footing in a foreign program, which is housing homeless foreigners that are coming into our city.
Wow, okay. So Xavier, you mentioned college. You are now in college, but you went through My Place, right?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about what your experience was and how it was instrumental for you to kind of move into going to college.
Okay, so I originally heard about the My Place program through my educational liaison. He's basically breaking down the program to me, explaining like all the logistics and stuff behind it. So when he was explaining the program to me, I'm like, oh, this actually sounds cool. I actually want to be a part of this program. So I then had my interview process with Ms. Sharon, the director of the program, and the whole process was just amazing. And then I moved in like about a week or 2 after my interview process, and apartments were fully furnished, and it was just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you're in college.
Yes.
And you're also you're helping other students who maybe are also coming through the foster care program. You and someone else at Pitt, you're at Pitt,
Yes.
came up with this program called Horizon Scholars. Tell me a little bit about that.
So Horizon Scholars is basically a program that would help aid youth through care, particularly who goes to the University of Pittsburgh. And it's and it involves anybody at any different branch campus. But it basically like eliminates the barriers that students may face. And they're provided with like different mentors. If you ever need any emergency financial assistance, they help aid you with that. And they just provide you assistance and mentorship.
Yeah, so Brandon, I mean, Xavier's definitely like, you know, an example of what this program can do. You guys also work on trying to establish independence and self-sufficiency. I see you have something called Pathway to Independence. Tell me about that.
So Pathways to Independence is conveniently the same as the same as our college programs, where we have individuals who are going to school, they're getting an education, and they have a little bit of a different walk because they are facing costs like tuition. They're facing costs like living in a dorm, all the fees that come along with going to college. And with the support of My Place, they are able to get that assistance to make sure that they have equitable food, to make sure that they know where they can find an equitable medical resource if they are away from school or if they are away from their home. So let's say if you're going out of your way to Robert Morris, you still have that resource that is My Place. It's the same as if you were to go to Pitt.
Yeah, yeah. And then now you're trying to bring alumni together. You have an event coming up October 17th. Tell us about that gala.
Yeah, so October 17th is our second annual awards gala, where we are celebrating the almost 2 decades of My Place. We will be honoring caseworkers. We will be honoring past alumni who have done amazing things in our community. And we are ultimately raising awareness of this solution that is My Place.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing some great work. Congratulations on all of it. Congratulations on you at Pitt and much success. And thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you.
All righty. And I'll have my last word when we come back. Icons, we lost a couple of them in the last week. James Earl Jones had so many notable roles, from Terrence Mann to Mufasa to the King of Zamunda to the voice of Darth Vader to his Tony Award-winning performance in Fences. James Earl Jones and his voice were an iconic presence on stage and screen. And on the musical stage, Frankie Beverly, dressed in white, gave us joy and pain, helped us see we are one, kept us back in stride again, and kept everyone dancing to Before I Let Go. Beverly's long career in R&B will have us singing along with his iconic hits for generations. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Intersections.